I'm Anna Berry for NewJersey.org here in the heart of Union Square, where the marchers have just started the march to Wall Street. It's May Day, it's May 1st, and everyone's here in solidarity. So far, it's been a great crowd, tons of people, live music, all different types of demonstrations, and what I'm always going for is the positivity and the action. We've got some good interviews, so stay tuned for that. And let's march. So you're from DC and you came for this?
Yeah, I came in last night. I got in around 4 a.m. because I thought this was the place that we needed to be. I mean, we need to make another spectacle. It was time for that.
Right. Now, don't they have something going on in DC as well?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, all over the country.
So why'd you pick New York to celebrate May Day?
Oh, New York's my hometown, and my little brother lives in Queens, and he's been organizing this for a long time. So I wanted to come up and support him. And also, I just felt like we needed a really, really big showing in New York today. I thought that was strategic for the movement.
So far, are you happy with the showing?
Absolutely, yeah. So many people. It looks great, yeah.
Okay, so what are you pro or what are you against?
What am I pro and what am I against? Well, I think that that's the question that everybody always asks occupiers, right? And I think the thing is what Occupier is it's a change in the narrative, right? So it's like a return to discussion about economic rights in the United States. There hadn't been that kind of discussion since the 1970s. So.
Okay. Do you think we've returned to having a discussion with economic rights so far?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You're happy with the movement?
Yeah, it's a narrative that connects many movements. I think it does it well.
Wait, consumerism is the opiate of the masses.
Right, we need to consume less.
Okay.
So we can live better. Quality of life is not just what you have, but how the spare time, family, culture. So we need to stop obsessing over material goods. That's one of the things.
I've been coming to Occupy Wall Street since October, and that's really the big grievance, that big money is running our country and leaving us all out, and we don't have the power to make decisions anymore. And people are really frustrated by it.
How do you feel that this Occupy Wall Street movement has helped giving people more power to make decisions?
I think it's really changed the national debate. Before Occupy Wall Street, nobody was talking about money and its influence and corruption, at least not in the ways that the Republicans were talking about it during their primaries. They were attacking each other for being millionaires and billionaires, which is kind of nuts. I think Occupy has really made a big difference.
The workers are the people who produce and run everything that society needs. The capitalists are the class that simply is a parasite that sucks profit out of them. And you cannot have social justice when a tiny profit-sucking minority runs everything in its own interest. The only way you can begin to have a just world is when it's democratically run by the working people of the world, who are the majority, basically. And that's not going to happen by voting for Tweedledum or Tweedledee, who are the capitalists' front men.
So you're obviously not voting for Romney.
I'm neither voting for Romney or especially not for Obama, who is the more dangerous enemy of the working class, because workers have no illusions in the Republicans, what the Democrats pose as being their friends and knife them in the back. So it is very important for working people to build their own fighting, organizing workers' party.
So do you think Occupy movement has done that?
No, it's just the very, very beginning of saying we're mad as hell and we won't take it anymore, but there's no class consciousness in it. There's the idea that we're the 99% is like saying college presidents and dentists and doctors and lawyers are all the same as a worker who's making $5.75 an hour.
Is consciously, deliberately, methodically apolitical, and that's not going to change unless they split. It's the beginning, but
we need class
not a great beginning.
So class consciousness is what you're here marching for?
Yes, absolutely.
May Day general strike. So make art, not war. Tell me what you guys are doing.
Well, there's a whole political, economical standpoint in this movement. I stand for the humanity and morality standpoint and environmental and food justice. So that's why I'm here. I'm fighting for my children's future, my future children's futures.
Right, through art or through what?
Being here, being connected with the people.
Okay, so how does being here and being connected with the people help your children's future and your children's children's future?
I think that in humanity, something that we lost amongst the generations is that there is no longer intimacy. So being here and being a part of this, it's really beautiful because it's not about being on Facebook or being on Twitter. It's about being here, really connecting with one another.
Okay. Okay, cool. Are you going to march?
Yes, I am.
You're going to march? Yeah, of course.
I think the workers are just one other group in society, but they're not. They're fundamental to society.
The real general strike.
They don't have the most basic understanding of what it'll mean to overthrow capitalism in this country. And many of them don't want to overthrow capitalism. They want to reform it. And you're not going to reform it, whether you like it or not.
Because capitalism doesn't exist to make widgets or anything else. It exists to make more capital. So it has built into it profits of overwork or unemployment.
Would you call yourself a socialist?
I call myself a Marxist, a communist.
I work in the family literacy program where my mom used to, she was a student there, and then she got me a job over there. So I love helping little kids who have problems with speaking English or like that.
Right. And so what brought you out here to Occupy movement at May Day?
Well, because I am the 99% and I don't want my generation to go through hardship and anything like that. So.
Right. And so far, do you think that this Occupy movement has done anything to help your next generation in being a little bit more, taken care of?
Well, they definitely have spoken out, and we're definitely being recognized. The problems is definitely being recognized. So, hopefully, in the future, something happens.
This is the International Socialist Organization.
An international socialist organization. All right. So, do you think Obama is the best choice for a socialist president?
I don't even think he's a socialist. It's actually kind of insulting to myself. But what I would tell you, though, is that he's a social democrat, or tries to be.
So, what's this movement that you guys are wanting to inform people about?
So this is really just a sense of solidarity, trying to get all these workers together, trying to get every socialist or every communist, every leftist group together, be them anarchists, libertarians, socialists, communists, whatever. So we're just here in solidarity.
This is a representation of companies that have, because of their large amount of money, have a large influence in the government, and the decreasing participation of the people and the decreasing response from Congress to the people and increasing response of Congress to economic interests of the elite.
All right, so we have CBS, we have Playboy, Coca-Cola, ABC, Camel, Microsoft, Apple. So none of these are good companies for America?
Oh, I'm not saying they're good companies for America. It's not about vilifying the companies. It's about saying that the economic interests of companies should not win out over the rights and interests of the democratic people.
It's that big money is running our country and leaving us all out, and we don't have the power to make decisions anymore. Right. And people are really frustrated by it.
How do you feel that this Occupy Wall Street movement has helped giving people more power to make decisions?
I think it's really changed the national debate. Before Occupy Wall Street, nobody was talking about money and its influence and corruption, at least not in the ways that the Republicans were talking about it during their primaries. They were attacking each other for being millionaires and billionaires, which is kind of nuts. I think Occupy has really made a big difference in the conversation.
Yeah, this is a maypole of the Declaration of the Occupation of New York City, which is a document written by consensus by Occupy Wall Street early in the movement. So the document is a list of grievances, and so what we did is we listed all of the grievances that we're marching for against on the ribbons, and then we had a ceremony earlier where we wove them all together. You can see all of them and how they connect on this drawing that we did of the grievances. And so the idea is that today is about celebrating our unity in the face of the struggles we fight, and so we're using this old tradition of a maypole to celebrate that all of our problems are one.
Well, we're standing for immigration reform, we want things to be fixed, this is a broken system, so being part of the Latin community, we're here in support of that.
Right. How do you think that we can do that, reform the immigration laws here?
How can we reform immigration laws? By coming up with a system, that's gonna give people the right to be able to work here, and study and go to school and go to college,
What is this organization on your shirt? What is it signifying?
Oh, this is the Laborers International Union of North America. We are building laborers in the construction industry.
Right.
So we're here also as part of this movement, part of workers' rights, social rights, fair wages, obviously.
So in New York City, living and working here, do you feel like you're getting fair wages and treated fairly, or no?
I mean, it's possible, but like I said, we're still a long way, far away, thank God, the organization I belong to, they're very open-minded as far as educating and organizing people from the Latin community, that's the point, that's the key, we need to educate people from bottom up, you know, and let them know that they have rights no matter where they come from. You know, labor laws protect everybody. You know, and that's one thing I'm blessed for, and that's given me the opportunity that the Labor's International Union have given me the opportunity to be educated on the subject, and at the same time educating other people from New York and New Jersey.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's going great. Good, lively, jolly atmosphere. Lots of things going on, lots of concerts and music. It's terrific. Sort of feel that good old Occupy spirit again that we had back in the fall, sort of revived. Feels great.
So you're a journalist. Are you a writer?
Yes, I am.
And so have you been covering this Occupy movement?
I wouldn't say covering. Every now and then I've been commenting on it.
Okay. So what are your comments? Are they good, bad?
It's great. I think it's fresh air in a stagnant room.